today we're visiting the famous Tempelhof Airport, so the Flughafen. And there's a few interesting things about that. It's an abandoned airport essentially, and it's one of the oldest airports in the world. So we're going to explore it on bikes. So it's no longer operational, it's all abandoned, but it's basically a big park now, and it looks pretty German, I think, like Old Mate Eagle right here, and the rest of the Central Flughafen. And yeah, so as I said, we've got our little bikes from Australia, and let's get going. The Central Flughafen, so that's German for Central Airport. I think one thing I'm noticing already about this airport is it's very grand, very big, very massive German architecture. So this was built in 1927, so that's nearly 100 years ago. That's crazy. But it was, if you think about that, it was built by the Nazi Party in 1927, so they sort of had it envisaged that there would be a big war and that they needed to support all the air traffic that comes with having a big war, essentially. So that's kind of why this airport was built.
You know what's so odd?
Sorry?
Like, the airport has been closed so recently. Go this way.
Yeah. 2008 it closed.
Well, it's still pretty recently. So you look at all the signs and everything, and it's just so weird because it looks like it's an actual airport. It's like, yeah, this is the entrance, and you can see all the heaters in there, and you can see, like, yeah, this is where you get your trolley from, and it's just odd. Yeah. Because now I know, like, how do we get in? Like,
I think let's go down this way and see what happens. Let's find out. Oh wow, that looks pretty. Yep, this looks like that's the entrance. I think silver wings in there, but it's very like, the architecture of this place is very boxy, but very sort of granite, I guess. I don't think it's granite, but like a sandstone-y kind of base, and very industrial, and
so pretty, eh?
It gives me this sort of industrial techno vibe, like industrial and yeah. But we saw
how smooth it is.
yeah, it's very smooth here. Oh, here we go. What's this? Oh, departures. Yep, let's go. So this airport only closed down in 2008. There's still light on up there. It's massive. It kind of feels like we're visiting like an ancient abandoned city, like Pripyat or something. But look at this German architecture. It's very it's I think there's, trying to think of the word for this, but it's like very grand, very granite, very industrial, and no personality, kind of, I guess. Interesting. I'll think of the word, but anyway, we've been cycling here in the suburb of Tempelhof, and there's some very pretty houses here. Like, we saw one, so this house here had all the ivy on it, and it's just so pretty. Like, this is what I like about cycling around Germany and stuff on the way to the airport, essentially. So we're kind of making a day trip out of it. And on the inside, since it closed down in 2008, a bit more history for you. In 2015 they used it as a refugee camp, so I'll try and emergency refugee camp, sorry. So whether it was used or not, I'm not sure, but that's what it was designated as. What's over here? How would you describe it, Gita?
It's really odd that it's like empty.
Empty.
It's so quiet, but still, like, the building looks fine. It just looks a bit old.
The building looks very sort of,
but I think it's still used,
dark and no personality, don't you think?
Yeah. Reminds me of war.
Reminds you of the war.
Private university.
Huh. Well, why not? There's probably so many rooms in there. It's very, very massive. So I think the mission now is to figure out how the hell do we get in. Lucky we got our trusty Australian bikes. What's going on, Gita? Oh, here we go. Maybe this will help us. Huh. It's like a big wall of Rome. So it looks like we've found the entrance now. Following the people, and looks very active in there. Like it seems like a lot of people use this. I guess it is a Sunday in Germany, which means none of the shops are open. So everyone kind of just goes to the park and hangs out with their friends, which is very nice. And perhaps there's a circus on as well. But let's see what there is. So it has some things like the German mini golf here. I don't know, I think this mini golf looks a bit sad, like there's old washing machines in there and just a bit abandoned maybe. I guess that's what you get when you come to an abandoned airport. But it looks very pretty down there. This is the best bike lane in the world. Oh my goodness, there's an airplane. So we've been looking for a place to ride our bikes, I guess, and just away from the streets and everything like that, like a nice place. And perhaps this is it. It looks like a big circular arch for people to ride their bikes and rollerblade and fly kites and things like that along the very pretty Berlin Tempelhof. So you can see it. This is the main airport now. Berlin abandoned Tempelhof. Oh my goodness, there's still a plane in there. So it looks like the main airport terminals walled off. But as you can see, there's even people like over there that are still working. But this is the temple, Berlin Tempelhof. Very still has a plane over there. I wonder whose plane that is. But it's very very eerie that it's abandoned, I guess. But it seems like the people of the parkland are enjoying it. I'm interested to see what else there is. I'm definitely happy I have my bike here, because tell you what, like obviously it's an airport, so you think it's very big, but you don't really think how big an airport is until you actually walk around it, or in my case ride your bike. This would be a massive mission if you were to ride if you were to walk it, to be honest. But another interesting thing that I'm not sure you can appreciate is it is very windy here, so windy. And like you can kind of see like what everyone's doing about that is like all these kite surfing people, not kite surfing, sorry, that's the Australian thing where you ride on the waves, but everyone has kites up here. That's the cool thing to do. But as I said, it is Sunday here, so that means all the shops are closed, so everyone kind of just goes to the park and has a picnic like these people over here. So I think now we're gonna have to put some speed on and see if we can take off down the runway. It's so big, it's hard to appreciate. Oh, here we go. There's actually a windsurfer here, have a go at that. I suppose when the ocean's too cold in Germany, but you really want to go windsurfing, you get a skateboard and chuck your windsurfer on it. Why not? Oh, this guy's like wakeboarding, but just for skateboard. Oh, look at him, he got some there. It's cool. He's the windsurfer guy. Oh, the German way of windsurfing. All right, we're getting some speed up now. We're gonna take off. Yep. I've never appreciated how big an airport is. until I rode down the runway of one. Ah. I think I might have lost Gita.
Can't drive there because the bike is there now.
Go back and fix it then. Huh, so you really can't appreciate how big an airport is until you ride your bike down the runway. Wow, I'm happy we brought the bikes here today. Gee whiz. You can see it in the distance over there. That's the Tempelhof. Gita's on her bike with a pink helmet. That's how you know it's Gita. And all the Germans enjoying their Sunday. It's actually really warm today. Warmer than it's been. Here she comes. What? Oh, you missed. Try again.
Fuck! Ow! Ow, it hurt me. Fuck!
Did you get it that time, Gita?
Don't film me.
So I think we're gonna have a bit of a rest here now. Gita had a bit of a boo-boo, didn't you?
Did you film me falling over?
I did. Show me your leg.
I'm scared to lift my pants.
Oh dear, you're leaking, Gita. Ow. Did you muck it?
It's so swollen here.
Where?
Here.
Oh well. What's the lesson we learned from this?
Don't high-five your boyfriend ever. He has this freaking bike on the floor.
On the floor. You mean the runway of Tempelhof Airport, Gita? So we're having a bit of a pit stop now, I think, and before we continue on, for Gita to stop leaking. How do you feel right now, Gita?
Annoyed.
What?
Cause hurt your bike, hurt my leg. I don't know, it's just a bit clumsy.
Gita's got a cut on her leg and she's resting it, but I think my bike's fine. Maybe my back wheel's a bit wonkier. It was always wonky, but Miss Gita's nursing a scratch on her leg now. Poor little thing. You poor little thing. I think I'm happy I don't have to push my bike home, but don't want to jinx it.
It's pretty deep for what it is.
So we're back on the road now. Pit stop over, Gita. What do you reckon about the Sunday people in the park having their picnics?
I mean, it's cool, but it's not a pretty park. Like, it's just a big field.
Yeah. It basically is just a big field.
It's a barbecue area.
Yeah, we can.
Smell it.
The thing you can't notice right now is all the I guess barbecue smell of like burning meat and all those sorts of things. But it's really it's such a popular park for kites and things, hey? Do you not think?
I'll take my car here if I have one.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like there's a garden here. Anyway, pit stop over. Let's continue. Oh, there we go. Grillplatz. But we're going to continue the adventure now. What's down this way? It's so refreshing to have somewhere nice to ride where you don't really have to worry about cars and things. Like you're the biggest fish in the pond essentially. But tell you what, you still have to worry about pedestrian traffic and other cyclists and things like that. But it's I think it's a very interesting spot to come and ride your bike if you live in Berlin, because you get to look at the like old architecture of this airport up here. It's just very interesting. Such a nice place to ride your bike. And I think if you're a tourist and you want to experience the Tempelhof Airport, definitely bring some kind of skateboard, scooter, rollerblades and something like that. That seems to be the cool thing to do around here, because as you can imagine, like an airport, it's so expansive, so you need some good form of traveling other than walking, or you're just not going to be able to see it all. How's your leg, Gita?
Hurts.
It hurts?
My left leg is getting stronger. I'm pushing more with the left one.
Oh.
Head cross country.
cross-country ski blading. I've seen some weird German things here today, and that is one of them.
A lot of summer things here.
Anyway, back to Berlin, the city of Berlin, continuing our adventures. Stay tuned.